Hello everyone, and for collective worship this week I thought we would think about the Christian value of hope. So, shall we begin? Good afternoon everyone. The Lord be with you. In the Bible there are lots of values talked about, and the three main ones, and which are also our values at school, override all of the other ones, are faith, which is like trust, hope and love. So hope is one of the big main three. And hope is believing that good things will happen, or that things will get better. I thought it was a really good value for us to think about right now with what's going on in the world with coronavirus. Now, when I was younger, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do when I grew up. For a long time, I did think that I wanted to be a teacher, but when I went to secondary school, I decided I rather liked acting. And this photo shows me as, I think I was year 7, and I played Alice in Alice in Wonderland. And so you can see which one I am in this photo. And this one, I was a few years older, and I was a character called Hebe. And this was a musical called HMS Pinafore by Gilbert and Sullivan. And in fact, I sang on the television with one of my actors, co-stars, I wasn't really a star. And so I was a little bit older here, maybe 13, 14 on this picture. And then actually I couldn't do it as a subject at secondary school, but when I went to do my first degree, I decided to do drama. So I did carry on. And I think actually in acting, in teaching, there's lots of acting involved. So I didn't, it was a hope, and I could perhaps have pursued it a little bit more. But whether it was a true hope or not, I think I'm not sure for me. Now, something else I enjoyed doing when I went to secondary school was going on expeditions. And we'd go camping in lots of different places, lots of the holidays, and some in the United Kingdom. So Snowdonia in Wales and the Isle of Arran off Scotland, places like that. And then I twice went to Iceland for a month each time, which was an absolutely incredible experience. And I think maybe for a little while I thought, I wonder if I could have a job doing something like this. And some people do, but I think I probably wasn't really. Although I really enjoyed it, I don't think that was something that would have been the right career for me. I think it's better for me as a hobby to go camping. But here I am on one of my trips to Iceland. The first one, you can see I had curly hair in this picture because I'd had my hair curled. And here's another one towards the end of the expedition in an Icelandic jumper, but they were amazing experiences. So whilst I had a slight hope that maybe it would be something I would do, I decided it was better to have that as a hobby. And however, I have a hope that I go back to Iceland because I'd like to go, but I haven't been back for many, many years. And the person that used to lead the expeditions now lives there. So that is a hope for me to return. Now, sometimes we have hopes and dreams that are things that really might happen. There's a really good chance, especially if we try hard or work hard. Sometimes our hopes are more ambitious and even bigger. And sometimes they are, maybe we're hoping for things that are a little bit too ambitious, like winning the lottery. Lots of people could have that hope, but it's not really a true hope because not many people will win them. There's a story here. I was looking at stories of hope. And the one that we can see here is by Michael Foreman, who's a terrific author, written all sorts of books. And this one, you can obviously buy it, or that little link to YouTube. If you pause this and go onto YouTube and watch it, it goes through the story with a musical background, so you can have a look at it. And in this story, a little boy is living in an area where there's war, and it all looks, you can see from the front cover, that the effects it's had on the landscape and the rubble, things like that. So it's very war-torn. There's barbed wire around the landscape, and it looks a bit grey and dismal. The little boy finds a seedling, and he helps look after it. He cultivates it, he waters it, he's very good at going back and checking it, and it starts to attract insects and birds, which bring joy to it, to lots of people. Unfortunately, partway through the story, soldiers come and destroy it again, and then there's winter. But in the spring, lots of little shoots start to grow up again, which bring hope to the children on both sides of the fence. So that's a rather nice story that you might like to have a look at. Put your hope in God. I wonder if you know what that means, or if you could work out what that means. You may have heard that expression before. And I think that sometimes we have hopes that may be a little bit unrealistic, like winning the lottery, like being rich and famous, or owning lots and lots of animals, or every toy in the catalogue or on the website. They're not really very realistic, and they might not come true. But for people who are Christians and believe in God, believe that God is always there and will not let us down, and he is true hope. And the next slide says, I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. And that's similar in a way, about God holding our futures so that we can put our hope in him. And so I'm going to say a prayer, and if you would like to join in, if you'd like to say amen at the end. Dear God, help us to have true hopes, and help us to hope in you. At this time of difficulty throughout the world, with coronavirus affecting everyone in different ways, it is important that we have hope and know that you are there for us. Amen. I was thinking of which hymns or songs that you might like to sing. I was thinking of the one that we were singing a lot just before we went into lockdown. God is a great big God would be perhaps a good one to sing if you would like to. Or if you know it, Give Us Hope, Lord, is another one that you might like to sing. And so that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. So let's go in the peace of Christ. Bye-bye.